Welcome to the Alaska Santa Fe and Pacific's Model Railroad.
Okay, I'm going to show you how I mount this section of completed fencing. I'm going to put it right where it's standing right now. But what I do is I take where I want to put it and get it lined up, and I roll it over to the side a little bit, and I take a round needle file with the point, and I poke a hole right down where I want the first peg to go in. And then I line that first peg hole up like that. And then I go right down the row with the rest of them. Just poke. I got 1/2 inch foam, so it's easy for me to do that with this. But this lines it right up. And then once I get all those little holes in, I take this thing and I line up those into the holes, and then I just poke it right down in there. And as you can see, it goes right down through. Got to push this down a little further. Get them all in good. There you go. This piece right here needs to line up a little bit, but that's fine. And then if I need to, hang on a second here, I can take this little hammer and tap it down even more to make sure it's seated where I want it. And that pretty well has it. I can see that this piece of fencing came loose a little bit, so what I'll do, put a drop of super glue in there. See, where's it at? I'll run this little drop of super glue right down in there like that. And I'll squeeze that together just a little bit so it'll stay. And there you go, that locks it all together. So that's how I mount my fences. And I believe it's pretty well, it's pretty well centered where it needs to be. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. The next step is putting the barbed wire on the top, so we'll do that right now. Takes a little while, mainly because this wire is so hard to see. Got to find it first. And it's right here. And I like to use this iron glue for that, because it dries a little quicker. So we'll set it down right there. And we'll get this first piece stuck in. Takes a little bit to get it lined up just right. Come on. That's where I want it, if it'll stay there. Again, it dries clear. Come on. So, gotta hold it in place for just a second and it'll stay. But I keep moving it so it won't stay. Come on, stay right there. So if you wait about 60 seconds or so, but I can't get it to stop moving. I can hold still now. Anyway, let's wait 60 seconds, and then we'll have that stuck in place. So give it a chance to set up. I can't get the darn thing to quit moving on me. Maybe if I stick it there and then quit moving. Sticks to me. Come on. Won't stay in place for some reason. All right, she's there. So now we'll let that dry, and we'll come back in a minute and I'll stretch it the rest of the way. Okay, we're back. We're going to go ahead and see if we can stretch this on out. What I try to do is grab a piece of it and I'll stretch it down 2 or 3 fence posts. And I'll hold it on top. Try to stretch it out. Just to keep this thing right on top of the post. So we'll let it sit here for another 30 seconds. And if they line up on the other post, you can go ahead and just put a drop of glue on that and let all of them set the same way. So we'll let those three set up here. This is just stretching a little bob wire across the top. Kind of a pain, but takes it a minute. This stuff sets pretty quick. 60 seconds it usually stays where you put it. And then you can go on to the next one. See, that's pretty much set right there. Then I'll go on down to the next one so I don't disturb too many of them. Like I said, we're just trying to make an appearance of a fence here. And it's turning out pretty good. I can't complain. If you don't mind getting a little super glue on your fingers, you can go back and tap it and kind of flatten out what's there, take off any excess. So anyway, you can see how that's done. We'll just keep going down the row and we'll have it all done here in a little bit. So we'll come back when I'm done. Okay, here's the bob wire completely put in place here. Got it glued on top, it's just tacked on. And you can see it goes all the way down to the end. So that's the last step of that process.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed watching the chain link fence series.